Yep. All right, good evening, and welcome to this evening's Fireside Chat hosted by the NNOA's Transition Assistance Team. The team is dedicated to offer assistance and advice and support to veterans that are considering following categories: profit, nonprofit, academia, government, and entrepreneurship as they transition from the military service. Tonight, we're happy to have Ms. Jai Gibson, founder of Auxilio X, join us as the guest speaker. She founded the company, and they specialize in building simple automation systems. And she was brought to us from a fellow NNOA member, Pat Lyons. So without further ado, I'll ask Jai to introduce herself. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thank you all for having me. Thank you to my aunt, Miss Pat Lyons, for the recommendation. My name is Jai Gibson, like they said, and I am the founder and owner of Auxilio X. Um, and before I tell y'all about Auxilio X, I'll give y'all a little bit background about me. I am a educator by day, and I run a full-time tech company. Travel the world speaking to business owners, professors, and and in between those professions about AI and automation and how it can change your world. So a little bit about Auxilio X. Auxilio X, Auxilio in Spanish means help, in and so I help business owners streamline their business, figure out their customer journey from point A to point to the last point of making them be return customers. And we create systems that allow them to free up some of their time to be able to scale their business by implementing AI and automation. Maybe that looks like taking their hands off of sending invoices, appointment reminder, Google reviews, um, missing leads, allowing leads to fall through the track. We cover all of that so they can continue to grow and scale their business. Tonight, I am here talking to you all about starting a business and what that looks like and how it can and what resources there is out there. So I am a conversation person. I love conversation. I love dialogue. So feel free to jump in and stop me if you have a question, if you have a comment or anything. But yes, that's what we're going to do. So basically, I will tell y'all how I got into automation. Well, in tech anyway. I was teaching and I noticed my students were bored with learning about the Boston Tea Party. So with that being said, when they were bored, I had to come up with a way to because their content still needed to be created. And so in that, um, what happened was We were learning about the Boston Tea Party, and I broke it up into 4 parts. And the first part was after they read, they drew a portrait, hand drew a portrait, what they thought the Boston Tea Party meant to them. Then we created a brochure with what they did a digital brochure about the Boston Tea Party. Next, we moved into doing a slide point presentation where they taught it to younger grade levels. This was a fifth grade class. And then lastly, they created a breaking news segment where they had to record, film, and upload it to YouTube so they can share out with their families and friends. And we shared it with administrators as well. So I got into that, and then I started designing websites for small business owners. Well, I had this one particular business owner who wanted me to do, like, I designed a digital course for her, and she wanted me to do everything from like her email marketing to making sure that they go out at a certain time, which is their automations. And that led me to launching Auxilio X in April of 2024. And by the grace of God, in August of 2024, I was able to go to New York and speak to people who work at Microsoft, people who were college professors, business owners, um, and Google about AI and automation. And so it led to from there. I'm not sure how many of you all are business owners, are inspiring to be business owners, but I will say that the major key into becoming a business owner is partnerships. Partnerships, learning how to work with other people, learning how to get into cohorts, applying for grants. Um, that is going to be the key to being a successful business owner. When you get started with a business, how to get started. Like I have had some failed businesses, guys. Um, this is not my first business. My first business, honestly, I started a mobile kids spa. And with that mobile kids spa, I was I was fortunate to have weekend parties. And I promise you, I was making at least between 2 and 3 thousand just off the weekend. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every week. And then it was good, but I went through a divorce and it failed. And this is just gonna be me being raw with you guys and being honest. It failed. And so then I started trying to do a clothing boutique some years later. That failed. And I just said I wasn't gonna do business anymore. And God gave me this ability to do Auxilio X because, like I said, I was just hipping out a business owner and she was just paying me. But then she started telling people about me and it kind of just took off from there. So to start the conversation off, I want to know what are some thoughts that you all or some questions that you all have about starting a not a nonprofit, but a business. It could be a nonprofit, but a business. Is there any questions? And Biscuit, do you mind telling me the questions because I can't see, but they are welcome to come off a mute and talk to me.
Yeah, so I'll share some of the questions that I have to help guide the discussion. So can you talk to some of the steps for one, applying for grants, and then two, you talked about the failed business. Um, at some point you started some of those walk through some of those steps, and then you decided that it was no longer working. What was that point and made you decide to call it quits, you know, and like I said, start again? Can you talk through again some of the specifics for that?
Um, so with my, I didn't, so there's no right or wrong book. Like they say, there's no right or wrong book to raise a child. There's no right or wrong way to run a business, in my opinion. It works based off your knowledge and what you know your audience, your customers like to do. And with that being said, in my first business, I didn't know anything about the hiring process. None at all. I didn't know how to hire. I didn't know how to obtain. I am just learning about an SOP, and it's like your system operation procedures. I didn't know that in the beginning. And so with that being said, I didn't know anything about having that procedure ran. So when I was going through my divorce, I tried to hire out and branch out and get someone to, take some of my travel on, because when I was going through my divorce, I had young kids. And so I couldn't go through a divorce and still be a mom and still run a business. So I quickly learned that you have to have systems and procedures in place. And I didn't have that in place. So my business fell through the crack. Now, don't get me wrong, it fell through the crack because my employees weren't running it to my standards. But to this day, and this has been since like 2016, I think, I still have people reach out and ask me if I'm still running that particular company. So there's no right or wrong way. Now, how to get started with a business? First of all, your biggest thing is find a need and fulfill it. Everybody in your community, in your area, it could be nationwide. It looks different for everybody. So find a need and fulfill it. But in that need that you find, make sure that's your lane of genius. And when I say your lane of genius, that means you can operate it in your sleep. You can operate it with your eyes closed because that's your lane. So I found out that my lane was technology. I did not know that my lane was technology. So, with that being said, I learned that that is how I best operate. So, that's how this business has been so successful in so short of a time. So, once you find your area of need, look to see if anybody else is doing it. Look to see if it would be better for you to partner with someone or if it would be better for you to start your own. Do your demographics, do run some A and B testing to see how it works for you. Like the way you run it, the way it works, do A and B testing to see if that works. And if you don't know what A and B testing is, that means it's a split testing. You might do, you might run it this way for a couple of days, and then you might run it another way a couple of days just to see which one works. That's how you do with your marketing campaigns as well. Once you find a need, I tell people all the time, start providing that service at a fraction of a cost. Why do that way? Because at a fraction of a cost, now you don't have to take your personal funds and apply for your business. Your EIN number is free, but you don't have to apply for your business license, your name, your website, and all of that. You wouldn't have to do that for out of your personal money. It'll be money that you've already been practicing with. And also, because you're operating at a fraction of cost, go ahead and get your reviews. So when you launch this business, it's not just a brand new business and no one has any knowledge about it. You have social proof that can go on your social media. It can go on your website as reviews. It can go on your Google review, your Google My Business page, which allows you to get founded on Google. If someone says, let's just say you start a mobile barber service for autistic kids. Okay, boom. If someone looks up uh, a barbering service that specialize with autism, you all get ranked higher. So look into that. And then I would say look for there's like business groups like here in I'm based in Birmingham, Alabama. So we have things like the Birmingham Business Alliance, the Birmingham Business Journal. We have things called Innovate Alabama. These organizations, they pour money into small businesses. And when you get money poured into small businesses, you can take cohorts, you can get grants and all this other stuff that allows you to get money built, put in your business to help you elevate and help you grow. Also, look for partnerships. Look for somebody, like if you have this need and you see somebody else they need to be doing, don't be afraid to partner because two heads are better than one. Um, I would say that. Then I would probably say start small. Don't be so quick to scale. Don't be so quick to like put all your eggs in one basket. Start small. Start with that one thing that you can help grow and scale, and then keep on adding things to it. Did I did I answer your question? I think.
Oh, that was great. So next
Okay.
question. Um, if you want to kind of touch on some of the highs and the lows, the hardest part, and then, some of the wins, um, through either the failed businesses or your current one, because it sounds like the new one. Auxilio X. That's what, 2 years? So you're
2 years.
still
It
trending?
it's growing. It's growing. I will say this, guys. As far as being a business owner, business does not happen overnight. It takes time, it takes pruning. It's not going to just grow overnight. I will say that you got to be consistent in what you do. If you're going to post on social media to spotlight your business, be consistent. If you're going to go out and in-person network, be consistent. Set a schedule. Um, Set a schedule. And if you go Wednesdays are your time from. Sorry, guys. Wednesdays from 10 to 2 is your networking time, then don't block anything else on your networking time. Go out there, network. Word of mouth is the best way of networking. Yes, social media is good, but word of mouth, social proof is your best way because you help somebody, they like that service that you bet they're going to tell you. Some of the lows will just because you made 5,000 last month, don't think you're gonna make 5,000 this month. You may and you may not. Be cautious with your money. Make sure that when you are using business that your business funds, that it is allocated to only business, because you do not want the IRS to come and audit you and you cannot show proof. um Also, give yourself grace when running a business. Why do I say give yourself grace? Because it's not gonna happen the way you want it. More recently, I can just be honest, I was doing good in my business. I lost the client, and then business kind of tapered off for like 2, 3 weeks. It was very stagnant, and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" But I pushed through. I kept doing cold calling. I kept reaching out the way I network, um, and then honestly, I started getting grants and I started getting opportunities. So don't beat yourself up. Give yourself grace within the business.
Okay. What about you started off in one direction. At some point, did you find that it made sense to pivot? And even now, where do you see your business growing?
I did. I think I have probably hit every industry from like the beauty industry, starting out with the spa, the clothing industry, retail, doing the clothes, and now here I am in tech. Um, Entrepreneurship is a trial and error. You got to figure out what works for you. And honestly, this is what was able to work for me, and it allowed me to grow very, very quickly. Like I said, I don't recommend growing very quickly, but it has taken off very quickly. Um, when you find that niche that works for you and you feel like it's the thing that you can do, you wake up every day and that's what you want to do, then you know that you're in the right place. So don't beat yourself up if you start a business and it fails. Because the one thing I will say is, let's just say you go ahead and get a business name in something in one thing, and then you decided to pivot somewhere else. You wouldn't have to start over scratch from your business name. What you could do is just change it as you're doing business as this new name. That'll save you a lot of money. I didn't know that the very first time. So yes, I'm out of money. I have been out of money on trying to start a new business, but nevertheless, I have um I have been sustaining within the tech company.
Can you speak to some of the resources that you utilize and you might recommend?
I'm a I'm a recommend Google. Google is your friend. I'm gonna recommend LinkedIn. LinkedIn is showing LinkedIn is a way to connect with other business owners, other like-minded individuals, connecting with people near and far, where you can go and showcase what you do and your opportunities. Um, you could I'm trying to think what else. Urban League. Urban League is a national program. They have workforce development opportunities. They have small business opportunities. Um, Whatever lane that you decide to go in, if it's tech, if it's some other aspect of entrepreneurship, coaching, consulting, whatever it is, I would say network and go to conferences. And that way you can build your network, because your network is your net worth. That is how you're going to make money, when people see you and when people recognize you. Um, so that would be good. Look into your small business groups within your respective states. Like I said, we have a Birmingham Business Alliance, we have a Birmingham Business Journal, we have Innovate Alabama. Um, I'm trying to think. We have another group called Rev Birmingham here. So look within your community for groups that represent small business owners. Oh, there's this new thing within businesses that I'm just now learning about. I just learned about it last year. It's called BNI groups. And BNI groups are respective members of, it's like a small business group. And what you do is, if you meet somebody who say they need somebody and that person is in your group, you refer, it's like a referral based program. And so you're referring people, and they only allow one person, one industry within the group. So if you're a barber and you are in there in that group, nobody else that's a barber is going to be there. So that allows you to get more opportunities. Um, there are different cohorts that you can take. There is one that's nationally known, but you have to make at least 25,000 or 100,000 to join, but it's called Goldman and Sachs. I think they have a men's side and a women's side, but I know they have a women's side. And so that's a national program, and you're in that program for 3 years. And it allows you, I think it's 3 years, but it allows you to meet other business owners. They fly you out to a different location every year, and they host like a conference. Um, Look into your NAACP groups, because they work with small business owners. The UNCF, they work with small business owners. I'm trying to think off the top of my head on some other things. I said LinkedIn. Oh, but yes, definitely network at different conferences depending on what your industry is. But make sure the conferences have social proof, because conferences can cost you anywhere from $200 to $500 to attend. So make sure it's worth attending. Look at the schedule, see if it resonates with what you have going on, and then join those conferences, because it builds your social network.
Awesome. Thank you. So, a couple more questions. Can you speak to the development of a business plan before you started or while you were actually, flying the airplane? Um, and then, the next question is the impact of AI.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did you ask me to speak to?
So the first one was a business plan. Did
Uh-huh.
you have one before you started or, while you were working up? And then the second question is impact of AI.
Okay. So business plan. I know what I want my business to look like. And I think for the first time since I have launched this business in 2024, I was made to do a business plan. Well, it really wasn't technically a business plan, it was a growth plan. Within my business, looking at the numbers and crunching it. That was very tedious. It was a pain. I honestly wanted to break down and cry that night that I had to do it, because, like I said, I'm not a numbers person, and so it really scared me. But I was able to get it done. I worked with my accountant, and it allowed me to do it. So it was very, very helpful. I will say that, do you need a business plan? Would I advise a business plan? Yes, I advise a business plan, because when you get to the bigger side of things, you need to know where your business started and how it has been progressing over the years. And you need to know that when you apply for loans and capital funding and capital grants, they look for things like that. And so it is very It is very needed to do that, and it's very needed. I'm sorry for the background. I think I'm gonna move, but it's very needed when you want to apply for larger capitals and take out grants. Now, what was the next question about the AI? I'm sorry.
So, both the impact of AI on your business, because you provide services, and with the advent of AI, in some cases that might obviate the services that you provide. And then you talked about how you're going to talk to AI for um, basically adults. We lost audio. I don't know if you can hear me.
So AI has been a is very crucial in my business because I teach business owners how to implement AI in their business so that they can grow and scale their business without having to do everything, because AI is a tool and it's a resource that is very much resourceful if you are using it. AI looks different for everybody in their business. Um, you one business owner one way, and the other business owner might a different way. Again, understanding what where you are in your business and how it can help grow and scale it. I use AI heavily because, like I say, I teach business owners to put a chat box on their website that can answer questions. I help them do reduce the missed calls. So I use a missed call text back feature. That and what's a missed call text back feature? That allows you to, let's just say you're in the field working with the client, or you on the phone and someone calls you, you can't answer. It sends them a text message and say, "Hey, this is Jay with Auxilio X. I'm in the call. I'm on a call with the client, but I don't want to miss your call. How can I help you?" And so it sends them a message, and then if it picks up keywords, so they say, "I want to book a call with you," then it sends them my calendar for them to book a call. So AI is very heavily used, and I also teach trainings on AI as well.
Okay. So speak to, if you don't mind, um, the different programs, because there's a bunch: Chat GPT, Claude, Perplexity, uh, recommendations, and then again you were going to speak to basically AI for daily use for
Okay. So
seniors.
yeah, so AI is pretty much basically artificial intelligence. And with artificial intelligence, it's like going to the library and asking a librarian, "Hey, where is this particular book?" Instead of asking a human, you're asking a robot that has been programmed with all the information it needs to tell you, and then you asking about, "Hey, where?" And the artificial part is that it's also a lot faster than what a human can do. So that's artificial intelligence. Um, and as far as looking at ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, DeepSeek, I say play with them all, because they all have a different tone. They all have a different they're gonna spit out the same information, but they're gonna spit it out differently. So one might tell me to start at a basic level, but another one say start at a basic level but add this and this. So their knowledge base is different, but it's very similar. um Honestly, for beginners, I say start with chat because chat is very general. But you could also start with Google, because if you type in a question in Google, it's gonna give you links. But there's, I don't know if y'all have noticed, at the bottom of AI, up under your Google search, when you hit search, it says all, but right there to the left, it says AI mode. You can click AI mode and it'll give you information, and then it'll give you prompts for the next steps that it'll think that you'll ask. And you can go with those prompts, or you can ask it something differently. But it's a great asset. Like, you can go in and say, and I'm gonna just use this because I just most recently did it in Chat GPT. But I was trying to change up my workout plan. And so I told ChatGPT, hey, I'm 5'3", I weigh 165 pounds. My target area is, let's just say, my stomach area. I want to tone and lose belly weight. And so I said I need to come up with and I work out 3 days a week. I work out at the YMCA. Please create me a workout plan for the month, as well as a high fiber, low protein, or high fiber, high protein diet that I can eat, as well, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the entire month. I need a 30-day plan. And it created me a plan. You can sit up there and say, hey, Chat GPT, I'm traveling to. Now, this is the thing that I kind of don't like about Chat GPT, because I did it. I was going to Philadelphia and I was looking at some places to visit, some staples. And I told it what I was doing, what I was in Philadelphia for. They gave me some places. Of course, they gave me the Rocky Steps. That was cool. But they gave me some restaurants that I really didn't care for. And when I realized, the ones that I went to, and I was speaking to people, they was like, oh no, you should have went to X, Y, and Z. So you got to be careful on what it gives you, because if it tells you to go to these places, I highly recommend, if you are a TikTok person, or if you use social media at all, look up those reviews for those places. If not, look up the reviews for Google, because you can probably find somewhere else that's a more popular staple. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But yes, so that's the way you cannot, and a lot of people feel that they can break AI platforms. You cannot break an AI platform. Better, it's best to go in and just type in everything you want to know, but make sure it's centered on one particular topic. Don't use it, but don't use one chat for the same topic. So it's best to go in and use different topics, and then play with it, because the more you play with it, it understands your thought process, your tone, and it can give you stuff that's more relatable.
Okay. So, with the few minutes that we have left, um, if you had to start all over again with everything that you know and the people that you've interacted with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what would be some of the recommendations that you would give yourself? Uh, you know,
That is easy, and I'm gonna tell you why it's easy, because I said it a long time ago. If I knew what I knew now, instead of going to school for education, and I'm not knocking education, I probably would have went on with computer science first. Um, because I just didn't know that this would be something that I love to do and that it fell in my lap. But I also think that everything happens for a reason. So maybe this is a right on time situation for me. But I would definitely learn more, and I would also dive in more into relationship building courses, because although you run a business, and although it might be ran on AI and all of the things that you're using tech for, and you really don't have to meet people, relationship building is the best thing to do when you're running a business, because I don't care how much AI can do for you. If you don't have those basic relationship skills where you can talk to people, you can network, you can be relatable, then you have no reason for starting a business. Because honestly, you can have all the knowledge in the world,
But if you don't know how to relate and how to be personable with people, your business will not be sustainable. Not in this time frame anyway, because with the scamming and the people and all the bots that's coming available, people still like that human touch.
Okay. All right. So, last question. And again, appreciate you joining us tonight. So, you're the founder, owner of your business.
Uh-huh.
I heard accountant. I heard AI. What's like how many employees do you have, and how do you manage costs? What's like what you would consider minimum manning?
I have no employees. I do everything myself. I have an accountant who runs my money for me. I am about to hire a marketing person because I will tell you this: if you are going to be B2B and it's business to business marketing looks totally different. It's like going from the US to maybe like the Middle East. It's totally different than B2C, which is business to customers. That marketing looks different. And I will say, if you are business to business, understand that business to business marketing looks more like relationship building, like I was talking to you about, versus just being the best content creator and throwing your product up on social media. Business to business is about building relationships, finding their pain points, and fulfilling their pain points. They don't care about nothing else. Can you fulfill their pain points? So be mindful of that. How to keep costs minimum. I will say this: just because you see five other businesses in a brick and mortar or in an office space, if you don't need an office space, don't get an office space. I had to learn it the hard way. I wanted an office space because I thought that was what I needed to grow my business. But I remembered that all my clients they're out of state, and I meet with them virtual. Even those few clients I have here in Alabama, I meet them virtual. So I didn't need an office space, but I went and purchased the office space, and now I have just paid a year's worth of office space that I could have put that into my business and something else. So look at what you really do, a deep, in-depth cost analysis to really see what it is. I would say more so invest in organizations where you can network. If you are a woman on this call, and I cannot see everybody, I'm sorry. There is a group called not Jack and Jill. That is a group, but I'm in Junior League of Birmingham. That's a networking group of women. And just because if I'm in Birmingham, if I decide to up and move to New York tomorrow, I can join. My membership can transfer to Junior League of New York. So just be mindful of the organizations where you can go to different states and continue to network with them. Um, and then just get out there and promote yourself. Don't be afraid to talk business. Don't be afraid to meet new people. I remember when I first started, the goal, the trick to meeting new people is when you find somebody you want to talk to, look them up and down. Like figure out what's something they have on. If their hair is nice shoes, something that stands out that you can start a conversation with and go from there.
Okay, awesome. Mike, did you have any questions you want to ask since you're a tech guy as well?
Yeah, no, that one question that I had was the business plan. You've heard from many other earlier speakers about the importance of a business plan, and I was just curious whether Jay also followed that model of, documenting everything. What's your competition? What's your targeted audience? Da 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 da. Everything, it's documented in a business plan. And I heard your response. So I guess it really depends on the type of business that you're trying to develop. And I'm happy that you're as successful as you are without having to done that.
Thank you. Yeah, I have been, but like I said, I don't recommend it because my business is not something that was planned. It kind of just fell in my lap. And that's not going to be the case for everybody. So I do recommend having a business plan, I recommend finding a business mentor that's doing the thing that you're doing and can give you feedback. And maybe they're doing the thing you're doing, but in a different kind of way, because everybody's business is going to be unique to the way that they run business and their personality. But find your business mentor and work with them heavily.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Jay, thank you for taking the time tonight. Appreciate you kind of sharing some wisdom and your experience. And like I said, we'll have this recording up for other members of NNOA to take a look at. But
Thank Thank
yeah,
you
thank
all
you.
for having me. And if anybody wants to connect, I will give y'all my information. It's auxiliox.com, AUXILIOX.com. I'm on social media at auxiliox as well. And my telephone number, you can call or text. I do respond. It's 205-831-7224. I am happy to give any more insight to start a business or help you out in your entrepreneur journey if you all are already an entrepreneur. I do not mind.
Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have a good night. All right. All right, Mike.